Hey, welcome back everybody. I'm Jade Monkey. We're back here in Rust to talk about Rust Console Edition for the PlayStation 4, the Xbox One, next generations, and everything in between. And that's right, the title is correct. Today is update day for main branch. That's version 1.41. If you're watching this, it is already out. You just have to cycle your system to see if you're not getting the updates, or if you're not getting the updates, cycle your system. It'll pop up. And then just make sure that it's completely downloaded. And the servers have already cycled the, not the monthlies, but the weeklies did do a soft wipe today. There was also a skin store rotation. We have some special items. That's what the rotation was. We have the green glowing rock going for 400 RC. We have the tiger stripe bandana going for 350. I was kind of hoping for maybe 4 or 3 items. And to be perfectly honest, like, I like these, don't get me wrong. I was kind of hoping for like a special box deployable, maybe even a double door. Just saying. You know, let me know down in the comments below. Double doors? Question mark. Armored doors? Question mark. Skins? Anybody? 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 Okay, so first and foremost, it looks like, by the way, all those patches and stuff we got, or all the fixes we got over on PTB, a lot of these got pushed forward, including a couple of extra pieces. We're going to read through the list here, but I just want to highlight some of the major pieces here first. And just let you know that this is not the content update. These are like fixes and quality of life type things. Yeah, so basically we're still waiting for OceanBound, but just remember, it always goes to PTB first, then to main branch. We're talking about main branch today, which means obviously it's not going to be this, and you know, this has to still come over to PTB. So as soon as you see PTB get an update that's content, get ready and get excited for main branch, because that means it's going to be next. It takes time, but it does. That's the next one in line. Okay, so real quick, we'll go over here since we're already on the topic. Looks like there's another fishing village variant added. I'm sure we'll hit it up on the patch notes here. It's a third type, and maybe it's going to make it more accessible. It's in between a large and a small. It's like, it just has like an extra piece on the side. So we'll see where that ends up, because before, the fishing villages were mostly landing on 3K servers. And if you do have this variant, to this third variant, the monthlies won't see it until the end of this month, June. So what is that, the 30th? Because you guys don't get a map rotation until then. So that's exciting. On with the fishing village stuff. Again, they'll cover this too. We finally have, remember when I said a long time ago, I was like, hey, when you're making money scrapping, or fishing for scrap, by the way, I have a video on how to make scrap fishing. I'll go ahead and link that now in the upper right-hand corner. Go check that bad boy out. So they finally updated this to the PC level. It buffed these values even more. So if you go to a fishing village and hit the vending machine, you're going to get even more for your stuff. And just, I mean, look at this guy right here. It's the shark, 90, hello. So even more reason to be using boat bases and everything else. It's always good to fish, have like boat access so you can go over and make those trades. It's huge, it's a big deal. So there you go, yeah. Those are effective June 23rd, 2022, just to make sure we have all that info there. I think I covered everything on that side. Let's go back inside here. We already showed you the specialty items. Let's go ahead and read through the list, as we have a few things here, and I'll comment on a few of these. Ooh, you know what? Before we do that, there is supposed to be, and I haven't had a chance to check this, there was supposed to be a fix for the Jackhammer Refill glitch. You're supposed to be able to go here and refill it with this little button here. I think it's like Y or triangle for us over on console. Some people are saying it's still broken. I don't know. We'll be streaming this, so we'll let you guys know ASAP. But it should be fixed. If it's somehow still broken, if, you can always go over here and repair it for material cost. Not ideal, but it's better than paying $150 for Jackhammer you use one time. Just saying. That's the thing. So if somehow these get broken again or whatever, we should be good to go. Oh, by the way, you know what? I didn't cover this. We have a new stack split UI. They're going to cover it again in the patch notes here. A couple key things here. It looks like we're able to push this into an object if it does take it as well, which is nice. And also, you know, this one's nice. If you're splitting it for the homies and you're trying to like do a quick, you've got that quick button right there. Pretty good. We'll see how this goes for Dance Dance Furnaces as you're schmelting and whatnot. Just saying, it would be dope if we had a 1/3 split button. Just saying, make it a modifier. Anybody? Anybody comments? Anybody? Anybody? Yeah, because we have a 1/3 split toggle on, what is this, PC? I was like, I just stroked out. Okay, let's go ahead and hit the patch notes so we can wrap this bad boy up. Okay, Pedro said, the team is working on a bunch of fixes and changes that'll make the time you spend on the island a lot more enjoyable. The update will go live today. You don't need another time because it already happened. There's still a couple of issues present in the game that we want to address, but we need more investigation from our side so we can solve them efficiently. Okay, real quick, just throwing out a comment here. I know a lot of people have been saying that they've been having crashing issues, both on core systems, pros, and even next gens on all of the platforms occasionally. And some people are like, yeah, I'm like crashing all the time and getting lag. So I wonder if that's what this is, unconfirmed. But it's interesting to see that. Let us know how the performance has been for you. If you're going to comment down below, say like, if the old patch or the new patch and how it's running for you and what platform you're on. I'm just interested to see how the population is currently running this, because if they're going to be adding cargo ship or sea labs, we're going to need some performance. You know what I'm saying? But again, this doesn't come in until it hits PTB first, which again, these are separate downloads. All right, back to the patch notes. I digress. As we talked about before, another variant of the fishing village. This new variant won't be available in some servers until after the monthly wipe. We covered that. The amount of scrap you get in return for fishing at the vending machines also updated. Hot, by the way. Refresh the stack splitting. Yep, we covered that. Stack splitting. Okay, this is key. Now, some people are saying this was still broken on PTB. We're not sure about this because we're talking about main branch here. It says stack splitting will no longer be canceled when players are too hot, too cold effects, and when the inventory item finishes crafting or when taking damage. So status effects was breaking the split stack. It's an old bug. Hopefully they've fixed it. This one's nice. A lot of people were confused a couple patches ago where there was a new item added into the options and it was making it weird so you couldn't like move things off of your hotbar, especially when you moved in and out of safe zones. You know what I'm talking about. But so they switched it back to full cycle mode, which is nice because that's the old behavior, but it's cool that we have the option to change it. So anyways, weapon changes. No recoil changes, I know. Compound bow removed as a default blueprint and added to Workbench 1 tech tree in line with PC. And these will look awfully familiar as we did cover these over on PTB about a week ago. Increase the amount of metal fragments needed to craft compound bow from 25 to 75 in line with PC now. Grenades can now be stuck to buildings by using alternate throw button, also in line with PC. It's good for raiding if you got a little bit extra. Not the best, but, you know, in a pinch. Reduce the crafting time for rocket launcher from 180 seconds to 60 on Workbench 2 and from 90 to 30 on Workbench 3. Reduce the crafting time for custom SMG from 40 seconds to 30 on Workbench 2 and from 20 seconds to 15 on Workbench 3. Yay, yay. Item changes. Reduce health points of Workbench, again, to prevent soaking. On Workbench 2 from 750 to 500. Workbench 3 from 1,000 to 750. Jackhammer can now be refilled on the Workbench. We'll see about that. It should be, though. It really should be. Dropped cooked fish can now be eaten directly off the ground. Perfect. You can drop it for the homies and be like, eat that. Crash fixes. Fixed a crash caused by entering specific characters in a note. Fixed a very common threading crash. Hopefully this helps all of the platforms, especially core. I know it's been really rough on this last update. Fixed various server crashes that caused unplanned restarts. Fixed a bug causing the game to hang every so often. Fixed a crash caused by coming into range of the recycler's audio. Fixed some server memory leaks caused by world items, bug fixes. On top of all the changes on patch 1.4.1, also brings good amount of bug fixes to the game. Here's the list. There could be a couple new ones, but most of this is from the PTB. That's why we saved this for the very end, for those of you that didn't hear the full patch notes the last time. And I think they snuck in just a couple here. Fixed a bug that allowed dead players to loot. Fixed items not getting automatically equipped when placed into an empty slot on the hotbar. Fixed a bug where players could get a screen shake effect when they're not receiving damage. And fixed collisions on texture issues on the kayak. Fixed collision and texture issues. Fixed texture issues on the new rowboat model and rib. Rowboat and rib this is huge. Rib and rowboat no longer decay while they're in use. Thank you. Because we're going to be doing a lot of more water, like on this patch, and especially when OceanBound hits, right? I mean, it's our best mode of transportation that we have. We don't have horses or minis. Stop players being able to turn off oil refineries at various monuments while other players are using it. No more trolling at the outpost, thank goodness. Cranes at the harbor can now be climbed. Beautiful. Can now be climbed using the ladders attached. Boats can be purchased from the fishing village every 5 minutes. If previously purchased boat has not been removed from the spawn area in time, it will despawn to make room for the next one. Fixed texture issues at several monuments, dome, harbor, Oxum's gas station, bandit camp, airfield, lighthouse, train yard, launch site, satellite dish, fishing village, and oil rig. Fixed the highlight area of the container at the pump jack. Fixed a spot where players could get stuck at the launch site and lighthouse. Fixed being unable to reach the refinery at the launch site, and fixed a spot at the lighthouse where dropped items could disappear through the ground. Fixed issues with M39. Dude, this is huge. Pumpkins can no longer be duplicated. We're almost there. Wooden storage boxes can now be placed on a workbench too. Thank you. You got to use all that space, especially when you're solo. Clothing items dropped on the ground can now be worn instantly without needing to pick it up first. Fixed a bug that could cause vending machines to become unstable after server restarts. That's not good. Holosight weapon attachment easier to see in the snow. Fishing trap. This one's nice, especially if you're making that scrap fishing. Survival fish trap, which has always been in the game, can now also catch anchovies, herrings, and sardines. And remember, you can sell stuff, not those, but you can sell things, fish, back at the fishing village for scrap. And these are good bait when you got them, I'm just saying. Fix the appearance of the scrap dropped on the ground. Have the crafting time for several items. Stone, hatchet, pickaxe, sheet metal doors, armored doors, wood ladder, and hide poncho. The small oil refinery can now be placed on icebergs. Boing. Fixed texture issues on the searchlight. Fixed resource nodes and snowy biomes having a lower texture compared to the nodes in other biomes. We're almost there. Fixed highlight area of corn plants. Kern? You guys want some kern? And then fixed appearance of fishing controls and game tip. Improvements to the stack splitting UI. There we go. That's all of the patch notes for main branch Rust for, again, PlayStation, Xbox, all that good stuff. Very excited to see what comes in next. Be watching here on the channel carefully. The next big push should be on PTB. It should be whatever the content piece is, if it's still OceanBound. So we still have no official word if it's going to be cargo or underwater labs, but fingers crossed. And I'm excited about the green glowing rock. You gotta show your Jade Monkey support, you know what I'm saying? So if you're starting off this wipe saying, man, I'm a solo or a duo, and I'm looking for a good water base, well, look no further. We got a solid one for you. This one's called the Bilge. This is specifically designed for solos, duos and trios, but it's designed to give you access to the water, keep you out of the way of zergs, as long as you're staying away from oil rig, and should get you some fat loot and move progression quickly. Check it out. We'll throw it up on the end screen.